God has some things that he wants to give to you, but unforgiveness is holding it up. Part of what we as believers are required to do is to forgive, right? God forgave us after all, right? He forgave our wretchedness. He forgave our triflingness, okay? He forgave our transgressions, our sins, things that we don't want people to know about, right? Things that we're ashamed of, right? God forgave all of those things, and he welcomed us into his arms and said, this is my kingdom and this is your kingdom, okay? And your inheritance is here, and all that you want is in me. Just ask. Just remain in me. Ask me for it, and I will do it. He also told us that we are not to harbor unforgiveness, because if we do, we can hinder our prayers, right? Unforgiveness is difficult. It's difficult to let go of when someone has hurt you, right? When someone has wounded you deeply to your core. But I think that most of us get it twisted, and we think that forgiveness means that we're forgetting. It means that we are allowing this person to have a pass to hurt us again, to come into our lives again, and to wreak havoc on our spirits and our emotions. And that is not the case. You can forgive, but it doesn't mean that you have to trust them again. It doesn't mean that you have to allow them across your border again, across your boundary, across your line in the sand. It doesn't mean that you have to say, okay, I've forgiven you. Now come on in and hurt me again. And then I'll forgive you again and hurt me again. And let's just repeat this cycle until I'm just no longer here, because you done killed me with all of the darts that you have thrown into my life, and it has completely sucked my spirit from me, right? Absolutely not. Forgiveness means that you forgive your enemies, right? And you pray for them, because God is going to deal with them, right? And if they are wise, they will allow God to deal with them, and they will have a come to Jesus moment. They will come to themselves, and they will allow the Lord to heal them, right? Because what is the saying? Hurt people, right? You don't typically meet someone that is a violator of young people that has not themselves been violated. Now, we're not giving them a pass because of that, but typically some type of darkness occurred in their life, whether it was at a young age or an older age. Something happened in their life that caused them to be dark. This doesn't mean that we just say, oh, well, somebody did it to them, so that's why. No, we're not saying that. But what God is wanting to teach us as his children is that when we hold on to unforgiveness, all it does is grow. It festers. We don't just have that piece of unforgiveness for that person and it's just sitting there. No, it grows and it grows. And unforgiveness allows you to be easily offended. So you hold on to offense easily. You're easily offended by something. I had somebody one time that it took me a long time to forgive them. It was hard to forgive them. And they could have been saying something innocent and doing something that didn't mean anything, but I took it and twisted it into they must have meant this because whatever. But that's because I was easily offended, because I already had unforgiveness in my heart towards them. So they really couldn't do nothing right in my eyes anyway, right? It wasn't until God revealed this to me and he dealt with me about this unforgiveness that I was actually not only able to heal, but I was able to repair and mend that relationship and see it for what it was, right? And not take everything as an offense, right? Now, this is not going to be the case with every relationship. We know that, right? There are people that we have had to forgive and be like, okay, now bye. I forgive you. Keep it moving, okay? That's going to be the case in many cases, right? You're going to have to forgive people that you never see again, right? It's not going to cost you anything to forgive them. The hard part comes in forgiving the people that you still have to deal with, right? And even the people that you don't have to deal with anymore, that unforgiveness can still ruin your life, because it can cause you to just be become a person that's bitter, non-trusting, right? Everybody you side-eyeing, right? And some people you do have to side-eye, but let your discernment be the thing that alerts you to, like, hey, watch out for this person, right? Not the unforgiveness in you that has settled and now made you suspicious of every single person, okay? Why am I telling you about all this? What is the point in this message? The point in this message is this. God has some things that he wants to give to you, but unforgiveness is holding it up. I'm telling you this because I'm a witness, right? There was something that I needed that I wanted God to do, and I shared that testimony before, right? I will try, if I can remember, to link it in the description here. I prayed for a house, right? I wanted this particular house, and this house was out of my league. Okay, it was bigger and better than anything I thought I could have. It was in a neighborhood that was very affluent. Not that I didn't think I could have something that nice, but at that time, it would not have been something that was within my reach, right? Based off of my finances and things like that, right? But God dealt with me about some unforgiveness that I had, and he knew that I had a desire in my heart that I really wanted this house, right? I saw myself in this home. It was my heart attached to this home, right? God knew that I wanted it. And that was the time for him to say, okay, I see what you want. Now let me tell you what I want from you. I need you to forgive this person, right? I cried about it. I don't want to say I fought with God about it, but I cried. I broke down and cried about it because I'm like, Lord, but this person did this and they did that and they did that. And God had to show me, you have to forgive because you're holding on to this and it's causing you to live in offense. You live in offense and you don't even realize it, right? God showed me so much in that, right? And I can't get into all of it in this video, but he took me deep on this thing, okay? And I said, okay, Lord. The Lord also showed me that forgiving doesn't mean that you have to go back to trusting. It just means forgive. I'm not asking you to throw yourself out here to be abused. I'm asking you to forgive the transgression because you're not under that anymore. Forgive it and move on, right? I did it, y'all. And when I tell you that the thing that I was believing God for, that I wanted, that I knew was out of my reach, he made it to where that thing was within my reach. He caused the people that had the ability to give me what I wanted, he caused them to favor me. He turned their hearts towards me because I turned my heart towards God and I obeyed what he said. When you forgive, you don't hold anything up from your life. You don't hold up your blessings. When you forgive, you become lighter. You grow. You keep yourself stunted when you don't forgive. You keep yourself from growing to the next level in God when you don't forgive. You keep your eyes a little bit murky and blind when you don't forgive because you can't fully see the way that you need to, right? Everything is an offense when it's really not. But you're holding on to unforgiveness and it makes it as if this was targeted towards you because now everybody is offending you, right? Unforgiveness stifles your blessings. It keeps you from the things that God has for you. But if you forgive, God promises that everything will be opened up to you, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm a living witness that it is the truth. When you forgive, your life gets better. Your life gets better. Your quality of life gets better. You have more joy. You have more peace. And the things that you desire, the things that you pray for come into your life. Unforgiveness is holding a lot of people back because you can't forget the person that abused you. You can't forget the person that hurt you. And you still deal with sometimes the ramifications, right, of their actions towards you. You're still triggered in ways. You're still wounded in ways. God can heal all of that. He can heal every single part of it, leaving nothing missing out. He can heal all of it, and he will. But you have to give it to him, okay? And then when you do that, I'm telling you, you'll see it in real time, in real life. You will see things happen in your life that are good once you actually finally really and truly, release that thing, give it to God, forgive them, pray for them, okay? The Bible tells us to pray for our enemies, right? Pray for those who spitefully use you. Pray for those who lie on you. Pray for those who steal from you. Pray for them. Not let them come back into your house and do it again. Pray for them, right? When you get to that point where you can do that and you begin to feel true what's the word, empathy for them. You begin to feel sorry for them because you realize just how unhappy that they are to have done what they have done to you. Once you get to that place, that is true growth. Because now you're not looking at them like the enemy. You're looking at them like they were the enemy, but you feel sorry for them because they're not happy, right? It takes you into a different level of understanding. Listen, God reveals things to you that will have you just going like, wow, okay? So whatever you have in your heart towards anyone that remotely resembles unforgiveness, get that thing out of you, right? Pray and ask God to heal you, to help you forgive. And guess what? Sometimes you got to forgive over and over. You got to keep doing it until it sticks, okay? It's a process. It's not an overnight thing, okay? Because you're not going to forget, but just keep on forgiving over and over. Never stop forgiving because God does not stop forgiving us. Keep that in mind. That'll keep you humble too, and it'll keep you remembering that you are in need of forgiveness all the time. I'm in need of forgiveness all the time. We think wrong thoughts, right? We want to say something, but we don't say it, right? We might say something that we shouldn't say. We might do something that we shouldn't do, right? And God is there with open arms to forgive us. And this is what we have to remember as well, okay? So be blessed on today. I love you on today. God loves you so much more. Until next time, I'll see you soon.